Welcome back to Dune Awakening. It's been a long time. In the meantime, I've upgraded my hardware to a 9070 XT. And it took me a good long time to figure out exactly how I wanted to tune it. I did put out a tuning guide for Battlefield 6. Where I tuned the hardware up. Those tunings or those settings have not changed for the hardware, so I still have my 10% plus power, I think 95 megahertz overclock on the GPU, and a slight overclock on the VRAM to, I think it's 2580. So that's unchanged from the Battlefield 6 tuning guide. And yeah, I go into a lot of detail as to how I figured out how to get the hardware dialed in that one. In this one, we can talk briefly about my settings for this game, which I think are final. First time recording, really, so I might adjust these still further, but for now it's good enough to start creating content. So I started out with the ultra quality preset, and everything is on ultra, and I'm just going to show you the exceptions to what I have on ultra. Global illumination is on high, not ultra. Lumen is off, as opposed to on. And reflections quality, which also has to do with lighting, is on high, turned down from ultra. Otherwise, every single setting is as it was with the quality preset of ultra. So usually what I get is I get 220, 240 hertz on the refresh rate for the display. That's what I usually get. I seem to be pretty much at around 180 while I'm recording. And there's quicksand around here, which I don't necessarily want to... I think I turned wrong. I think I need to go on a little bit further. Or turn off to... No, it's this way. Right. Yeah, there is quicksand here. Yeah, it's there. We need to go here. Anyway, yeah, so quite a substantial hit, as we also experienced in Battlefield 6. But I am going to be creating 4K footage. And at 120, recording at 120 FPS. So that is going to be where the performance gets hit so hard. I could probably make it so that I took less of a hit, but then I think the quality of the recording of the video that gets output wouldn't be quite so top end for, say, a large OLED TV viewing, which is what would be ideal for viewing this content. And that's the goal anyway. Now, another thing that maybe you may have noticed is that my views per video have dropped off a cliff, which is fine, as I'm about to drive off a cliff here. There's a couple reasons that I'm doing these. Dune Awakening in particular I'm doing because I have just under, I think, 400 hours in this game so far. I think it's 387 and change as we speak right now. And yeah, I still think I'm going to be playing this game for 1,000 hours at least. But I'm going to hit that milestone before I start talking about whether or not I think I'm going to be continuing on beyond 1,000 hours. But the way it's looking with all the things that I have left to do in this game that I still want to do, that I haven't even started yet, that I'm only getting set up to do, yeah, I think this is at least 1,000-hour game. And I'm trying to mine erythrite crystals in this thing. Okay. I think there normally is some in this cave, but it might be the next one. I don't know. It's been a while. I usually come, stock up, and then I don't have to again for a good long time. Mostly what I use it for is making cobalt pastes. There's a couple other things that I'm doing. I'm doing a weapons check. I just got a blueprint for a rapier yesterday in the deep desert. I was just inside the border for the PvP area of the DD. And happened to come across a drop pod. Wouldn't you know it, I found a decent rapier. It's this one. 138.5 damage versus, I think the one that I'm coming from was like 70 something. So this doubles the damage output. And yeah, I need harder hitting weapons than what I had in order to start making more progress in the DD. But I think that one of the things that I'm going to start doing is going down there and in the PvP area of the DD, just looking for the pods and trying to get blueprints off of that to see if I can get weapons, because I've gotten armor, heavy armor, and I've gotten this rapier, and I think I've even gotten a pistol. So I think that's going to be the way to go, to at least get something going in terms of better gear before I actually start taking on quote-unquote dungeons in the deep desert. Okay. Of course, now I'm completely lost. That's fine. Well, anyway, before I start doing that, there is going to be a lot of spice that needs to be mined. I don't know that I'm going to be making a lot of videos of me just doing that for however long it takes. Yeah, so it'll be a while before I actually have the gear fabricated, although I have the blueprints for all of it. Literally all of this stuff, all of this happened in the past couple of days of me going down to the deep desert and getting 2 or 3 drop pods just inside the border of the PvP area of the deep desert. So yeah, and I've gotten duplicates for a bunch of these. Some of these I got from running I think Forgotten Caves, but yeah, not many. Most of this came from the drop pods. All this stuff did, this did, this did, this did. I think I had one of these, and then this one. Prior to two days ago when I started running the drop pods. So I think that may actually coincide with the update to the game. I think we're in chapter 3 now that just dropped, I think, on Tuesday, which would have been 3-4 days ago. And with that chapter 3 update came changes to mechanics, which is why I think I'm finding these really good schematics in the drop pods now, as well as some seriously impactful performance enhancements to how the game engine runs, so that now my 9070 XT on near ultra settings for everything, with the exceptions that I showed earlier. Well, it used to run pretty hot with everything on ultra, such that I needed to turn everything down to all high, and then it was okay. But now it's a lot cooler, runs a lot better, and I could run with the ultra preset with absolutely everything on ultra, except for then I'm kind of at the frame rate with that recording that I am at now, maybe a little higher, like 180, 190, thereabouts. But the ray tracing capability of the 9070 XT isn't its strong point. And so just turning that back has led to some reduction in image fidelity, but better and much smoother frame rates, and consistently so with the other settings that I have dialed in. So yeah, I think I know exactly where I am. Yeah, that's where. It's a sandstorm. I better get hidden. I know a spot right down here. Hear a warning or anything. Okay. I think it's in here. This light is new. Very cool. What that is, that looks interesting though. I don't know if there's a chest down there. Nope, it's just a way to get down. Alright. Yeah, so anyway, the Chapter 3 update has been, yeah, maybe the biggest update to date for Dune Awakening. This is a smuggler livery swatch, color swatch. And I'm running this color swatch on my Ornithopter as well, on the Scout Thopter. I think it's pretty cool. I believe I've mentioned in one of my previous videos talking about the third faction that was supposed to release there it is, Smuggler's Swatch. Variants. Raider buggy variants. We'll run that maybe later. In any case, in one of the previous videos, I believe that I probably mentioned that I thought that the third faction was going to be the smugglers for Dune. That may or may not have gone away, along with the swatches. They also released a build kit, which has a lot of pieces that are a part of it, which is probably the most detailed build kit. Actually, the amount of pieces, I believe, is on par with the Atreides build kit. So there's a lot of pieces that are a part of the Smuggler build kit, unlike the Dune Man one, which released with disappointingly few and then got a couple extra added, but it's still relatively small amount of pieces. So that released along with the Chapter 3 update. Let's look. Engine and PSU could use some maintenance. Okay. So, I don't know what's going on with that. I think that the Smuggler faction is still, as far as I know, on. There hasn't been a lot of talk as to when that faction is releasing. They might be wanting to save that for a particular date, as in the announcement for it, because the releases of other games factors into it. And I think that the release of the third faction for Dune Awakening, unless that's gone away for some reason, which I don't know if it has, I'm not going to speculate that it has or has not, but let's assume that it hasn't gone away. The release date of the third faction, just even the announcement of it being, you know, timed to not coincide with other big releases in early 2026, I think factors into why we haven't heard anything just yet. But yeah, I think that just because of the swatches and the build kit having released already, that there is a chance that is in fact what the third faction is going to be. And like I said, I believe I've mentioned that I thought that the third faction was going to be the smugglers, and that I was holding. If I go into here, and actually it's in here. If I go into here, I'm a outsider neutral. I'm neither Harkonnen or Atreides aligned. And so, I don't know, maybe the smuggler is going to be down here or up here or whatever. But, yeah, I'm holding out for the smuggler, or at least for the announcement, before I make a decision as to which faction I want to be. I'm not probably going to wait beyond the third faction. It's not a mine, as far as I know. I do need to go past there because somebody's a good shot. Those crystals are around here, I believe. And this is like a maze down in here. Love it. But if somebody's been through and mined already, then you can just spend hours driving around in circles looking for stuff. Like what I'm doing now. I suppose they move them down lower. I don't think they move them. Too much work. But we'll go down lower anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to wait for the announcement of the third faction. Once I know that, I'll decide whether or not to go, depending on what it is. They're dueling. Depending on what it is, I will pick either Harkonnen or Atreides, or what the third faction is. And I'm optimistic it's going to be the smugglers. So, having said that, there we go, some crystals finally. My long-range scanner. These guys should all be one-shots for this gun.
Someone here. Enemy found. I'm coming.
Some beer. Carbon. Let's take some carbon, why not? These are light darts. Why did I take them? Okay. Need that. There wasn't anybody down here, though, was there?
Someone's here.
Well, I could be wrong.
I need backup. Someone's here.
So I can't block with this thing now? I thought I was able to block with this. Heavy I want. I do that. Anyway, settings, controls. Blocking. Riveting content, but I have to know, am I able to block or not? Attack, use, aim, focus. I don't see anything like blocking in here. Well, let's get some of this stuff. Yeah, I'd say overall I'm very happy with how the 9070 XT is performing. So I haven't fully got into testing for ray tracing performance. Battlefield 6 does not have ray tracing in it. In the engine Frostbite, they removed it. Unreal Engine 5, which is what Dune Awakening uses. This engine does have ray tracing, but NVIDIA is that is its strong point, is over Radeon, is ray tracing. But in terms of everything else, the 9070 XT is a really, really good top-end card. Too far away. Very happy with how this is going. And I'm not gonna. If I had an NVIDIA card, if I had like a 5080, for sure I would be running with ray tracing maxed probably. But then I would have had to pay a premium of another, I think, $600 on top, practically double what I paid for this, what I paid for the 9070 XT, just to get better ray tracing performance and essentially almost identical, effectively, game engine performance in every other category. So, yeah, probably this generation 9070 XT for top-end cards is the best value bang for buck that you can go. I think that has been and is the consensus amongst people who know. Gotta stop doing that. Well, if you're gonna be tunnel visioning through your binocs there, I'll take advantage, because why wouldn't I? Okay. Yeah, I mean, the graphics, I mean, this, call me crazy, this looks good. Is that? I have binocs. Is that a crystal up there? It is. Okay. Well, there's a couple down here. Don't really need bullets. Bullets. That's more over there too. Wow, okay. Well, I'm going there next, I guess. Well, I'm probably going to need to take a short break here. Even though I'm in the buggy, that's okay, I can. Yeah, the 3070 card that was replaced, that I replaced with the 9070 XT, had, I think, severe stability issues by the time I actually ended up swapping it out. The games I was playing, it didn't show up, and it probably got worse after, progressively. After I first started noticing that there's something wrong. So, yeah, that happened. As I was saying, one of the reasons that I'm making this content is because I want to have a record of a game where I spend 1,000 hours in the game and sort of have that whole process documented, and you know, just something I can go back and watch later on for my own entertainment, if nothing else. Be better with this off, maybe. This. And I still want to figure out whether or not it's still possible to block. I mean, kind of, or parry. That was 300.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Yeah, I don't know that that's necessarily worth it for 300. Yeah. Let's just head on across the road here. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's get stuck inside of our buggy and look stupid in the process. Let's do some quick maintenance. Plenty of space left. Out of ammo. Okay.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Well, I put it in there. That's why. You guys are back. Thought I ran over you. Don't know if being out in here is necessarily an issue. Well, they changed up the animation for the Sword Master, which is cool and all. But I don't know. I thought parrying was like a big part of the game. This is back now? Or did I just not see it before? Well, in any case, I'm getting it since I'm right here. Oh, they all came back. All right. Since I'm right here. I think down there is a way to, well, I'm not sure now. But I did see where there was more in the other direction, so I'm going to do that. Now, aside from the fact that I'm making content, even if I weren't making content, I would be playing this game. It's just one of those things I've always had, and I've talked about this before. I've always had a shooter like PlanetSide 2 or like Battlefield, and I've always had an RPG like Guild Wars or the Elder Scrolls, where I was playing, you know, they were kind of two mains, I guess. And then every now and again I play something else just to, you know, change things up. And it's been that way for, you know, the past 3.5, almost 4, I think, decades of hardcore gaming, PC gaming, hardcore PC gaming. Although I gotta say, the strategy genre I've sort of renewed my interest in that, and I really like the Total Warhammer stuff, and I'm especially psyched for I'm really hyped for the new 40K Total Warhammer. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely on the hype train for that one. Yeah, looking forward to that in a big way. And kind of the 9070 XT runs Total Warhammer 3 really well. All the settings maxed, and I'm like at, I think I have that limited to 120 just so that the fan doesn't get really, you know, loud. But it's like buried at 120. Here we go, heavy. Go. That's what I was thinking about doing with this loadout here. Let's Put this back. These guys should be all one-shots. The shields came down, that was the end of them. And he did say shield offline, so that's cool. Of course, these guys have nothing in the way of shields because they're really low level. Anyway, I would be playing this game regardless. It's good. Ray amplifier. Remember having to go through a lot of trouble to line up something like 14 or 15 of them for whatever it was that I was making. Dude, where's my buggy? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so, after this run, I got to do a lot of, spice harvesting. Probably what I'll do there is record the footage for, I don't know, half of it, and then through the magic and power of editing, sort of sit there and, edit together the most interesting aspects of that whole process. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing in this game. Oh, another thing that I'm doing is I am having a lot of fun with the smuggler build kit, and I've kind of gone a little overboard in making changes to my existing water production facility in Haga. Yeah, we'll probably show that at the end of this video after the run's over. There's another spot above this one that had more crystals, but I'll get as many as I can get. Volume-wise, I'm fine. It might just be that item-wise. Item-wise, might be running out of slots. How much of this can I take? A lot of it. Good. And for some reason, volume-wise, I'm not so good. Well, that's fine. This is a... This should be... Buggy Boot Mark V, yeah. Thought I had that. Okay. This is where I gotta get out and do it on foot. I understand why they did this, is so that people on bikes would be able to get some. People on buggies, like what I'm in now, are probably gonna pass by this and go, yeah, I'm not doing all that work. I don't have to. I see another one up in here. There's one. Yeah, so I don't know. This game is way too fun. I do want to play Space Marine 2. I got that on sale. It was like 60% off, which is what I was waiting for. I don't know, I paid like 20 bucks for it, or whatever it was. 20, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks. That's what I was waiting for, because that's the kind of game that's going to be for me, is I'm going to hop in every now and again. Don't need the gloves. Need the crystal. That is why my Steam library looks the way that it does, with a lot of games that are in there that I bought and paid for, and just never played. Haven't even started them yet, because they were $5, or, you know, whatever the case may be, like a lot on sale. So, Steam, Valve knows exactly what it's doing with Steam. And I wonder if I'm up here. There's a way. You know what this is? This is where I haven't. Yeah, this right here. This is where I haven't shot a probe yet. And I probably should. Well, at some point in the future. What is this? Oh, there's intel there. I do not need more intel. I'm good on intel. Really, the thing that I need is skill points. And I have 44 left to go before I hit the cap of 200. And that is the thing that I need. Yeah, I should probably look at my engine here. Fuel I need. Oh, and cargo. How are we looking there? Might as well head home. That's pretty full. So let's go up this way. Back in. Did it just turn dark out? Up this way and to the right. Okay, I'm actually down there. So I could go this way. Is that what I'm seeing here? I could go like this. Yep. And then hang a left once I cross. No, hang a right. Okay. Yeah, so that was fun. Yeah, this server is dead. Like, everybody's gone. And there's still some remaining ruins. I mean, some of these guys may have relocated, but you know, you go to the market on Arakeen, and guess what? You can't buy anything. I think the only thing that I saw there was like fuel cells. No, not fuel cells. Like the cheap lubricant, the industrial lubricant. That's all there is on the market for the whole world. It's nuts. So eventually, I'm gonna have to. All right, so yeah, at some point, this world is going to be. I'm gonna have to migrate out of here and relocate to elsewhere. Yeah, you can see off in the distance. That is that's mine. That tower that's out there. And well, there's a lot of work left to be done, but I pretty much have it figured out, like, as to what I want to do. It's just getting it in place. So there's going to be the top floor, which is a hangar, the topmost floor. There's going to be 2 middle floors. Those are going to be the main floors, and then actually the 3 middle floors are the main floors. And this bottom one that we're pulling in, pretty much everything is going to be out of here, and it's just going to be a garage for this buggy. And that's going to be the only thing that's in here. I might leave some of the power plants in. And there's like micro stuttering going on for some reason. No idea why. Well, some idea. Once again, we are playing a survival crafter, and this building has a lot of pieces in it, so it's not optimized. And so if we were to, let's look, actually, my CPU should be going nuts. Yeah, that's what it is. The CPU is choppy. Shouldn't be like this. It's like this because it is getting itself sorted as to all of these pieces. So eventually, once that's all in, then we should be back to smooth performance. But yeah, getting all that stuff loaded in is CPU intensive, and the CPU is already, you know, saturated with things to do. That's a cool shot. Anyway, the way this is going to work now is I have these ladders and hatches because I have a lot of stuff going on the rooftops. And all this new stuff, by the way, these columns, the ladder, everything up from the bottom sort of lower level there. All of this is the new smuggler build set. And yeah, the columns take up some space on the interior, but that's fine. I'm getting like 4 times this. Well, 3 times this. Plus also, this bottom one is going to be a little bit smaller because I have this rock piece here that's been here from the beginning. That right there. So I have that there, which is kind of cool, and I'm not going to mess with it or cover it up or anything like that. I like it. But usually, the higher up we go, So let me... Yeah. So I'm just putting in this floor for spacing. That's all I'm doing. This floor and the ceiling of it, and then there's going to be, once I, you know, feel like it, I'm going to do the next beginning of a floor lower down, and they should be spaced out evenly at this height, at the exact same height that this is, which is exactly 4 pieces. And it took me a minute to figure that out. I was playing with that for a day and a half straight, just building. Anyway, so not only am I going to be extending out to, well, to the edge of the property, which is, I don't know, something like 4 or 5 squares in this direction, south, but also these towers that I've put in, that I'm using as kind of like elevator shafts, those are also going to be basically removed, and that's going to be floor space as well. And there's 3 of them. It's just that on the bottom one, I can't really do it because of this rock over here, which I think is pretty cool, how that's just sitting in there, and I think it looks cool. I'm kind of built around it. So normally this wouldn't be here for the 2 remaining floors. The second, so this being the first floor, the second floor and the third floor are not going to have this necessary gap. So this whole thing, all of that floor space, all of it's going to be one big floor. So yeah, it's going to be cool. And I'm probably going to, this is temporary. This roof needs to come up. This one needs to come up to halfway to here to get rid of this. And that is going to be the height of every single floor. Because if you, well, going in here, ouch. Going in here, that extra half actually makes a big difference in terms of how big the space looks. Now, one thing I will say, though, about the global illumination and the other ray tracing effects on the ultra setting, especially with this setting, which is lumen. This is really interesting when there's a sunrise and a sunset, as in the whole space fills up with color that's being reflected. So it's, the light is actually bouncing off of the surface and bouncing onto a new surface and then bouncing off of that surface, but weaker, and so on and so on, and sort of that effect. It looks really cool, but performance, I think, takes too much of a hit, and it looks cool. The game looks cool enough with, I think, with the shadows on max. I especially enjoy having this set up for when the sun is shining through the windows. I think that looks, or the moon for that matter, really refined edges for all of the shadows. And then all of that moves at a fairly rapid pace because, well, the sun does anyway, or the star around Dune, whatever that's called. We'll just say it's the sun. The sun shining through the windows, moving at a faster pace than when it does, you know, IRL, it's got this really cool effect. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna plug that hole before I forget. But where is that even? I think it's up here. Nope, I guessed wrong. It's this one. Oh, this, by the way, this is like a strategy table, and then they got pieces for it that you can put on it like a board game. So I'm going to do that at some point. I'm not going to worry about furniture until I've gotten the entirety of the floor space set out, or set up the way that I want it. But that's going to be a whole other thing. Oh, you know what? I don't have either of these set up yet. It's just the middle one. Right, and then the middle one. I think all of these are, well, okay. I don't even know, actually, fully. I'm kind of just making it up as I go along and just working with what's there and adjusting it, so. But yeah, I gotta plug this hole. Yep, this one. Let's see. It would be that guy. Right. Yeah, so, ouch. I missed the bed. Oh well. Kind of thought I'd put a mattress there. To soften the fall in case of an emergency. But whatever. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, got this thing built. So now I can make weapons. Need to build this still. This thing. So plastanium, spice. 25 spice though. I can get that pretty easy. And cobalt paste. Oh yeah, cobalt paste. I'm gonna have that here. Let's see. Granite, which is what I'm using to build with. Oops. You done? All right. Well, I'm going to park a lot of this fuel, a lot of these fuel blocks back into the buggy, because that's where I'm storing them. But yeah, easily I could spend 1,000 hours in this game. It looks stunning, the graphics do. And here we go, sunrise. For the sunrise, let's check out this room. Carpet, all this is a part of the smuggler build kit. So I'm just gonna wait here and we can watch this because, well, pay attention to the shadows and how detailed the shadows are. Really impressive. Yeah, even this is pretty cool looking. I mean, it's better with the ray tracing, but the performance trade-off in my case. I mean, obviously, if I had a 5080 or even a 5070 Ti, which I think the 9070 XT is, it kind of trades places. It's better in some things and worse in some things, depending on the game, than the 5070 Ti. But obviously a 5090 can just blow away anything. But then you're out like $3,000 for that. So yeah, not going to be paying that for a graphics card. for my own personal use, out of my own pocket anyway. Would I run one if I had the chance and if it wasn't my money? Oh, absolutely I would. Oh yeah, and I'd pay the electricity bill gladly in order to run it, which it would. Yeah, that thing can suck down some serious power. And yes, your bill would see the difference, your utility bill. But yeah, look at those. Look at the detail. Look at how sharp those shadows are. And look at my frame rate with FSR, by the way. By the way, one more thing on settings. I do have my frame rate cap set to 120, but with frame gen on with FSR, which this is the Steam top right corner. That's the Steam FPS counter, I guess, that you can turn on in your Steam settings for any game. And it says FSR, if FSR is being used to make a distinction between just raw FPS and frame gen FPS. So look at that. Is it on par? Can you tell the difference between 200 FSR and 200 FPS? Yes. But not as much. I mean, personally, I personally can tell the difference between 120 FPS, 180 FPS, and 240 FPS. Oh yes, I can tell the difference. Absolutely. And yeah, it's not as good, but versus, say, 100 FPS, if I had 100 FPS or I had 200 FSR, the 200 FSR would look better to me. And I'm kind of very sensitive to motion and to the absence or presence of hitching, which, as you can see, we're standing in this room and the sun is moving around. The shadows are crisp as possible. And I mean, there's no hitching because of some of the other technologies that I'm using, which I'm not going to get into, that you can cut on in Adrenaline for Radeon graphics cards, which NVIDIA, I'm sure, has the equivalent of. I mean, it's just that NVIDIA tends to be a little better for ray tracing stuff. Although I'm going to hand it to Adrenaline. I think you get better control over your hardcore graphics settings in Adrenaline than you do. My impression of the NVIDIA app is that it is a little simplified, as it should be, because most people are running NVIDIA, and so most people are not going to be hardcore PC gaming, nuts like me, who happen to also have a background in software development, specifically also in game development, not just software development. I did make a racing sim game in Unity, but whatever, that's a story for another time. So anyway, this is probably going to be a long one. I might divide it up into a part 1 and a part 2 for Dune Awakening. But yeah, it's been a long time coming. I've had to, and I think after this session here, I think I'm going to pretty much stay at these settings. Oh, and also I had to wait for the Chapter 3 game update for Dune Awakening, which didn't come out, but 4 or 5 days ago. Because I think with these settings prior to this update, my graphics card would be screaming at me, melting. Not to mention the fan noise. So yeah, I mean these settings I think are impressive, and as it should be. The 9070 XT is a top end card. Yeah, I think. Well, okay, the 5070 Ti, the 5080, and the 9070 XT, the 9070 even, are probably top end gaming cards. I think the 5090 is entering into exotic territory, where a 5080 Ti, not that that's coming out, but that would be kind of also in exotic sort of hardware, PC hardware territory for gaming. Yeah, I'm just, I'm psyched. Gotta say, yeah, let's end here, and yeah, more Dune Awakening videos are going to be coming out as soon as I get to it. And with that, I will see you in a bit.